Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Shaman, and this is NXR, and we're bringing to you round 8 of the Season 4 season here at Mexico for Tier 1. We've had a week off for Valentine's Day, but we're back here, and we're going to be bringing you some exciting action here at this phenomenal circuit. And with me today is my co-commentator. Please introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself. Right, it appears my co-commentator is not able to be functioning currently, but he is Night Owl, and he will be speaking when he can. Are you there? Hello? Please introduce yourself, Night Owl.
We'll be commentating alongside Shaman today.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We would like to start off with a warning. Because of a lot of windy conditions in the UK, it has been affecting some internet types, so there may be some lag on the stream or potential cutouts, or we may see our co-commentator drop out at points. We apologise in advance if any of this occurs, or if any of our drivers drop out as a result of this.
Yeah. When you did the intro, I started connecting to part, and I didn't hear a word you said, so I had to, I didn't.
Hedginio
the engine
in
penalties
the chat.
for today. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you read it.
Read them out. Read them out.
Okay. So we only have one driver taking an engine penalty this week, and that's the Tier 1 Championship leader, Kimi. He will be starting last for today's Grand Prix. Yes.
Big call from Kimi, but he's taking it before Mark, who is going to be gone from this race and maybe the next race. So it's going to be the best time for him to take his grid pen, so he can try and get as many points as he can and extend this championship lead while his closest competitor is away.
Also, he will not be at the back by himself.
No,
Milkman, VP of Red, has a Milkman and the drop pass. Both the Honda cars are starting back because someone in quali in Japan. So yeah, he's very interesting.
They both had instances in quali. I don't know if it's the same for the stream, but you're
I've heard
cutting out massively in the party.
And I've heard from C. Davies, it's all dry today's race. Yeah, you're cutting out for me as well, Shaman, so I don't know what's going on.
So that will be interesting to trace up. Hopefully the stream can provide some clarity on that, or perhaps it's just servers in general. Yeah. So we've got Milkman and, I believe...
If I have to, I'll restart my Xbox.
Yeah. Milkman and Dropass taking
Dropass.
quali bans. Yes, I said Dropass, didn't I? But anyway.
Yeah, you said Dropass, yeah. So,
Hedginio is very disappointed to not be racing today, as Yaps has decided to hire this man to take his place, Millsy. Both of the Ferrari Tier 2 drivers were unavailable to race today, but Hedginio, the Haas driver, was willing to step up, but Yaps has said no, and has opted for the Ferrari reserve of Millsy to take his place. Not part of Yaps' boys that he signed at the start of the season, or have a full contract with him at Ferrari/Haas. So it's a bit disappointing to not see the Tier 2 driver come up and have some fun in Tier 1.
Freezing on the map.
I have not heard a word you've said. But another person who is reserving today... Okay, mate, you do that. Yeah. We're going to have our co-commentator take some technical difficulties. Hello, Ryder, it's lovely to see you. But as we watch this lap from Artifact, we're going to talk about the other reserve, BRL Wraith. The winner of the UK versus West of the World race on, I believe it was... almost 2 weeks ago today. And a multiple-time Academy winner. He's making the step up to reserve in the Mercedes for Rob after this man here on the flying lap said he couldn't make it to the session, but Rob, being the ever-loving team principal he is, when Artifact said he could make it on late notice, Rob dropped out so that Rafe could keep his seat here this week. And we've all got to commend Rob for that decision, as Artifact goes P2 and Gifted is currently P1. Jensen, join back to the partying game wherever you can. But I'd like to take a moment to ask the Twitch chat, how are you doing today, and who do you think is going to get pole position around this lovely, lovely circuit? And while we do that, I'm just going to invite Jensen back if he can join us. Evening, Lottie. Evening, Lottie. Rydell thinks Rafe is going to get pole. I am having problems getting Jensen back into the party. The party should be joinable, so hopefully you can join off of me. Signing in now. Okay, that's good. Who's on a lap that we can watch? Let's have a look at Bradders. Bradders is a great driver. Becoming a staple here at NXR. He's been here since almost the beginning, I think, and he's been a very enjoyable J-Wall is upset that Rydell prefers Jensen to J-Wall. Alright, Philip, how are we doing today? Hope you are well, sir. Such a tricky track, and Brad is making it look really comfortable, avoiding the Haas car there as he comes down the final couple of corners to set his first flying lap of the evening. Let's see what time it's going to be. Across the line, it's going to be a 1:15.3 that just avoids him off a provisional pole. What a lap from Bradders. I'm glad we were on board for that. Philip, if you've got any predictions, make them. Who do you think's going to get pole? Who do you think's going to win the race? Yaps goes fastest with a 1:15.2. As the Alfa Romeo comes out behind him, another name change from Rapid Kitch to RRT Kitch. We'll just be referring to him as Kitch for ease of access purposes. We see Gregor Mullin, aka Riot Astonish, on this medium compound of tyre. Philip saying Yap with a big W today. He might get a W on track, but he's not going to be the most light person in the paddock after deciding not to pick Eugenio for the reserve seat today. But with Mark out of the way, he's going to be the one that has to try and give the title fight to Kimi, who, as we can see, has retired from Q1 without setting a lap because he is taking a qualifying ban. This is Yaps' pole to lose here today, folks. Yaps' pole to lose. But Lottie's saying Kimi for a podium. We know that that is biased, but nonetheless, Rydell exactly saying that. Eugenio saying he would have won if he raced. I have no doubt that you would have won, Eugenio. No doubt. Just Yaps didn't pick you, and I am devastated at that. Let's go on board with BRL Rafe, who's on a flying lap in the middle of the second sector. We're expecting big news from him, and he might be able to get pole position here. He is that quick of a driver and will definitely be slotting into Tier 1 next season. At least that is my judgment. I could obviously be proved wrong by the draft because it is a phenomenal system. Purple Sector 2 apparently as he comes around this tricky final sector under the underflow. First time I'm saying that word today. It's a little double underflow, you've got a little off part there. And across the line here goes Rafe, and it's easily provisional pole. Like almost half of a second. My account shouldn't be offline, Jensen. Let me see if I can invite you. I'm having some trouble inviting someone to the might be of this issue, but make sure you. Rafe obviously a very good time there. Rafe saying he is. Rydell saying Rafe is goated. Ryder was saying Rafe is goated. Sorry about the technical difficulties here. We're trying to solve them as quickly as possible. We'll go on board with Drive on Driver now, who is the last person to set a flying lap this session. J-Wall, can you hear me? Oh, and Drive on Driver's had a little bit of a spin. I can hear you, by the way, but I don't know if you're going to start cutting out.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I hope it's fixed itself now.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, we'll get J-Wall in for the race, mate. If it stops working,
you keep cutting in and out for me. Oh, we got some scribs out on the wall, haven't you?
Yeah, that was a massive crash as I was on board with Drive on Driver there. He is out of the session. His 1:15.6 is irrelevant.
If this keeps happening,
I think driving in Q2.
Yeah, I think if this keeps happening, well, you might have to get J-Wall in.
I'm sure J-Wall will be ready to take control of the commentary booth if the issues persist. And I think Night Owl can't even hear me, so I need to ask the chat.
Yeah,
J-Wall, are you ready to take control of the booth?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, let me see if I can invite J-Wall.
What the fuck is going on? Yeah, he's free.
It's fine, don't worry, here at NXR we do plan for these occasions, and we will hopefully be getting our other Tier 1 co-commentator in by J-Wall as soon as possible, hopefully. I don't know if Driver's on a level up, I haven't been paying attention, but he is gunning it through this second sector, so it makes it likely that he is. He is 4 seconds up on his time almost. This could be a very good lap, actually. This would make him safe as it is, but he's got more to get in this final sector. Here we go now, around the last couple of corners. This could be a good lap if he doesn't spin. There you go, up in a P9, the Mercedes driver. Doing very good. Night Owl, don't worry, mate. See if we can get J-Wall in. Yeah. Apologies to those who wanted to see Night Owl here today. The storms here in the UK have been making internet troubles for many people, and unfortunately Night Owl is going to be a direct consequence of that occasion. We'll be looking to get J-Wall in as soon as we can. I know he's on Twitch right now, so he probably is watching this stream on his Xbox. Just want to confirm from the Twitch chat that the audio and everything is clear and crisp, because that means we can continue streaming completely fine. Who's on a fast lap? Yoan with... Oh no, Yoan might have just finished lap and he's just invalidated, so never mind about that. I'll go on board with... I'll go on board with Gifted. Let's go on board with Gifted. Jay will be here in time. Obviously, technical difficulties. Jay has not been prepared for this, so he might just be taking a few moments to get some bearings. Hopefully, Night Owl might be on the case, pinging him in a Discord if possible. Just a lot of issues here that we're trying to sort out and make this race as concise as possible. As we see Gifted going across the line. Gifted going across the line and gets himself into P5. Millsy retiring, thinks he's comfortable with that lap. Night Owl wants to try again, but I don't know how like this will be. We've got time, it is Q1, nothing really important is going to happen here. As only one more driver will be knocked out of this session, and it's probably going to be either Gale Force or Oil Prince. And Oil Prince right now is on a flyer, so we'll go on board with him. He's a little bit up on time currently, so hopefully he will be able to get closer to Jacko's time and see himself through. Obviously with the way times are, Jacko is P14 with a 1:16.0. He can definitely do better than that, but he is currently above Scribbs, who is a 1:15.6. He's unfortunately messed up that lap a little bit, but we'll go on board with Jacko, because this lap is important, as he technically is in the drop zone, but he's not. Yaps is retired, as well as Kitch and Millsy. Those red cars up in the top 6, comfortable with their times. I am inviting Knight out to the party, and if he's not receiving those invitations, then that won't happen. Gifted retiring, as we see Jacko start his flying lap around this Mexico circuit. Coming out to turn 1 now. He's going to break about the 50-meter board now. You've got to be very clear and concise into this corner. You've got to commit to the corners, but be careful not to overcut. Open up the DRS here. I don't know the corner names as always, but we're just living off pure vibes here in NXR. That is what we do here in Tier 1. Watch these drivers perform to the best of their abilities and performing tricky corner sections like this. Beautifully done here from Jamie Jacko. Coming up to the very difficult second sector, who's always been a pain for personally me in the past, is you've got to be very careful along these intricate sections. If you get too much of a corner, you might invalidate your lap or worse, spin out. I believe driver might have spun out, or he's just pulled off of the side to let Jacko get out of the way. Into the final sector now. I'm hearing from the chat that J-Will is coming, that's good to know. And I'm sure Jacko is coming around to send an absolute stonking lap. Let's see what that will be. Takes him up. It's only a tenth faster. That looked like a pretty good lap. We'll go on board to Gale Force, who's in the drop zone right now. He's got a lot to prove. I'm sure he can jump Oil Prince, but whether we can get out of this bottom 15, that will remain to be seen. And I believe we have our co-commentator here. The second time's the charm. Hello, J-Wall. How are we doing this evening?
Hello, NXR. I'm doing great, thank you, Shaman. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's brilliant to hear from you, and you sound much clearer than Night Owl has. So hopefully you will continue this.
It's a shame about Natal's internet. I was looking forward to seeing.
It's definitely a shame, but when we've got great commentators just waiting on the beck and call, it's not gonna make the stream any less effective. Night Owl's a great commentator, but so are you in your own right here.
Thank you.
Gale Force is looking to finish this lap. Oh, and he's hit the wall!
I'll just join the game.
He's able to finish the lap and still manages to jump Oil Prince, but he might have lost time there, and he might have been able to jump Jacko.
By the way, I can't check the comments. My phone's
yeah, no,
dead.
I'm on the Twitch. It's fine,
okay.
mate. No problem.
Right, I'm in. Are we towards the back end of Q1?
Yes, we are. We've got a minute left in the session. We've got 2 drivers in the drop zone. And if one of them can just jump Jammy Jacko, then it will only be one of them in the drop zone, because Jacko will still be safe due to Squibs having a crash in the second sector, which currently resides him in P15. If either Oil Prince or Gale Force can jump Jammy Jacko won't be out of the session.
It'll be
but
Scribs.
It will mean that they are safe. Because Scribs is crashed, and Scribs will stay in the bottom 5 no matter what. Even if he's technically 15th and not 16th, he will still be out of the session. Oil Prince trying to absolutely gun it through here. He's lost the car a little bit, but not in the way that's lost his time. But he has invalidated, and that's a nasty crash. Gale Force is coming through, manages to avoid.
Is that Oil Prince that's out? Because I'm just still
that was
the
Oil
session.
Prince with a nasty crash, and Gale Force now. If he can beat a 1:15.9, he's got 4 tenths to do it. He's invalidated, and we're seeing the checkered flags come out. I believe he is also out of this session.
Gale Force out then? So have we got a confirmed bottom 5 now?
We've got a confirmed bottom 6, J-Wall.
So only 4 drivers out in Q2. So
yes,
that's interesting.
Be the case.
It might mean people who were originally planning on going through the softs will now seek to go through on the mediums instead, and that'll create an interesting dynamic, which is fortunately something we're not going to get next season.
Well, yeah, that will be a shame for the real life F1, but we'll be keeping on with that format until the end of the game cycle here at NXR. One thing to point out though, one of our drivers, I don't remember who it was actually using the medium tyres for a bit in this session. I'm sure I'll look into that while you rattle off the the top 3, bottom 5, whatever you want to do.
I cannot see anything currently. I'm just having massive game issues where it's just showing me the screen. I clicked to view spectator, but I don't think it's put me in the spectator menu. We'll see when we get into the Q2 if it has.
Philip saying Jay Will my goat.
Thank you, Philip. I love you too. My first teammate.
Yeah, and here I don't know if you're getting the menus up, but Ray fastest in the session by 0.4 of a second, followed by Braddock's, Mullin, and Gifted to round up the top 4. Yap's down in P6, not the best lap from him, but he's done enough. His reserve Millsy, which is disappointing.
Hedginio would have topped this session.
Hedginio would have topped this session 100%. The bottom 5 or 6 knocked out of this session rather are Scrib, Scale Force, Oil Prince, Dropass, Kimmy, and Milkman.
Mark.
Kimmy. Mark is not here. He is P21. Kimmy taking Quali Ban, Dropass and Milkman having Quali Bans. Kimmy
Obviously,
taking an engine pen.
Kimmy taking the engine penalty now, seeing that Mark's not here and thinking, we haven't really got anything to lose.
It's the best time to do it for Kimmy, and when Mark gets back, he still needs to. When Mark gets back, he still needs to take his quality ban, so that's going to be advantage Kimmy. And when Mark seems so dominant for part of this season, Kimmy is now the favourite to take the championship.
I was actually discussing the championship with Bradders the other day, and I was saying Kimmy's lead right now is quite big already, but he's got an option to add 20 points to today, and if he does, then surely the championship's over. And Bradders said, well, yes, but also no, because Kimmy had a big lead on Mark going into the Italy races. And Mark clawed that back with some really strong performances, some really good wins. And then, of course, Kimmy clawed that back again, but that was mainly because of Mark's mistake at Japan. Not that Kimmy wasn't brilliant in those Singapore-Japan races, because he was winning, and he was obviously... Oh, yes, the menu's working now. It was obviously really good, but it's just a reminder to everyone, really, that it's not over until it's over in NXR. I'm sure we'll get loads of drama, and I think that's a good segue for me to mention something that I don't know if it's already been mentioned in the stream so far today. But there's a new trailer for Behind the Visor released on TikTok on the NXR account, and I just thought it'd be a good chance to mention that. It's really good effort been put into it by Yaps and some senior NXR owners into making that, and it really is really exciting me to see what they do with that, and I really hope they do some good stuff with it, and I know they will because of who's in charge of it.
But, oh yeah, 100%. Obviously, there's no like compulsory thing for something to be done out of that. It's just a fun passion project some of the owners are doing behind the scenes, and whether episodic features come out of that, well, that will be there to see. We're gonna have a nice scenic view of LeBruno going on his flying lap as we talk about this. But
Bruno? Okay, let's watch Bruno.
Back on the topic of Kimmy and Mark, I believe Mark is actually missing 2 races.
No, Mark should have been missing 2, I believe, but then we pushed one back because of Valentine's Day, as far as I'm aware.
Ah.
And that actually helped him.
He still needs to take his quali ban though, so that will be a big issue for him when he returns. Because Netherlands will probably be where he does it. I could obviously be proven wrong though.
But Kimmy's got to do that today as well, and I think the main thing for Kimmy is if you start from the back, you've got nothing to lose today, Kimmy. You finish 10th, you get an extra point in your championship. You finish 8th, you get an extra 4 points, potentially 5 on fastest lap. You don't score, neither does Mark, he's not here. So you need to just be, I think for me, if it was me, my main aim would be to just finish the race today. Make sure you don't get involved in any altercations further down the grid from starting from the back.
Yeah,
Bruno and
100%. Worst case scenario, he's just taken his quali ban, so he'll have that one up on him.
Exactly.
I'm going to choose to go on board with Yaps as we see a Red Bull have an issue. I believe that's NXR Gifted. He's just in front of Yaps and he had a yellow flag issue, but he seems to be okay and continuing, probably going back to the pits.
We'll see if he goes into the pits. That might be a good indication of whether he got a wing damage or whether he's underfueled the car or something. And I think the tyre choice is very, very interesting because Yaps in Bruno Drive on Driver and Gregor Mullen are all on softs, and everyone else is on
Yaps.
mediums. And I'm sure Wookie will tell us in the chat if he's here, because he's usually my go-to guy for strats. But I'm pretty sure it's a 2-stop around Mexico.
I've actually done some digging. Having access to team chats now, I can have a bit more inquiry on what some drivers' strategies are working on. Obviously, I'm not going to reveal who is thinking about them because that would be unfair, but the words soft to medium have been thrown around a lot.
I see. I don't know. Wookie will probably correct us in the Twitch chat if I'm wrong here, but I tried the softs in the Milkman's practice session, and Bradders did the mediums, and we had a look at the deltas, and I don't think it'll make the 36 laps of the Mexican Grand Prix.
I'm going to want to go on board with Rafe here, who's on the medium tyres. I know he's not on a lap, but I think this is going to be a very interesting thing for BRR Rafe to show everyone what he's really got, because I believe this is his first time
It's his
in
first
Tier
time.
1.
It's the first time in tiered NXR.
But he has been lighting up the scene in the Academy and in the Invitationals.
He is just. I think he's been phenomenal, and I do think he's a contender to win here today, especially in the absence of Mark.
100%.
If anyone's going to trouble the front runners, cause an upset, it's this guy, and I hope he does, because he is, as I would put it, the bee's knees.
My reaction to you saying bee's knees is just like Gale Force's reaction to whenever I say the word underflow. Which, by the way, there is a few of around this track. And there's a double underflow at the end of the final sector.
I haven't noticed any underflows. I'll have to keep an eye out whilst I'm watching Graves lap.
You enjoy it. It's a cheeky double underflow at the end of this lap. Gregor Mullin getting out of the way of Rafe here. I can never do this second sector, Jay. Well, it blows my mind.
Sorry, Sonoda could never get out of the way like that.
And here he comes
second
to the final
sector. I agree. It's very, very difficult. This is on medium tyres, and he's just gone fastest. This is
Watch
like
this double underflow now. Here's one.
Oh yes, I see that.
And here's two.
Oh, all right, okay, I'm with you there. That is nice.
Lovely double underflow as Rafe goes just
8/10 shy of Yaps.
second and 2/10. Oh yeah, no, 8/10. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I don't know the gap between mediums and softs. You said you were doing some digging on that.
I thought it was 5/10 ish.
So that is actually a pretty good.
But that might be the gap between mediums and hards. I might be misremembering that, so don't quote me on it. But I think it's something similar to that. So if Yaps is doing that on soft,
even still,
and he's clear of everyone so far.
Yeah, but Rafe, fastest driver on the medium tyres right now. It's been a good job from him so far.
And Yaps is reserving third. Millsy, good luck there. Should have been Hedginio, but good luck there, Millsy.
Well, Hedginio would be in the 112s right now.
Just no, forget the one. He'd be in the 12s.
That's each sector, isn't it?
Yes, 12-second sectors, of course. 36-second lap.
Yeah, you can't do 12 seconds around here. That's preposterous.
Not for a man like Hedginio.
Yeah. He breaks records, that kid, and I think Yaps is just protecting Tier 1 from him, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I completely agree. He would just be too much for it. If you're like me and you racing in here, these drivers, these subpar drivers, wouldn't be able to handle the likes of me, you, and Manoy. Hedginio.
I mean, you couldn't seem to handle any pit walls, to be fair, so...
Oh, you didn't... Because I was doing practice on Mexico. In Milkman's practice session.
Oh, don't tell me you hit the pit wall
and
here
I hit
as
the
well.
pit wall entrance, the pit wall divider, when I was coming in to enter the pits, and yeah, I generally think I could end up crashing into that again, which is just annoying, because it's one of the longest running battles in NXR history, actually, me versus the pit lane divider. I don't think it's just
what's been the longest NXR battle, though? Surely it's got to be...
Milkman and Bruno,
it's not
maybe?
Here anymore. I think it's Milkman versus the stewards, to be perfectly honest.
Milkman is the stewards.
As much as Milkman is the stewards, he still seems to feel like he gets hard done by, so, interesting. Anyway, Seems that most drivers are currently set a lap right now, although I think if you're a driver like Yo and you're not settling for that at all, you're going to be going out on a pair of softs to try and get through in the Q3.
I'm sure Johan will, and I'm pretty sure that's why he's done 3 laps on the mediums. It's suicide to start on really, really old mediums, because your medium stint's the crucial one. So, I think he will go out on the softs. I think he's just trying to get a feel for the track, get a feel for the medium tyres for his race, but he'll have to box this lap, I think.
Yeah, 2 drivers yet to set a lap. C. Davies and Gifted, both selecting different tyres. Perhaps C. Davies is going for a last gasp effort on those mediums and thinking, if I don't get through, I don't want to start on the softs.
I wonder if he is committing to a 1-stop then, with full flexibility, which is what you really want with the mediums.
I mean, he's coming out now. It's a bit early to come out just now, but
I don't know. I reckon he can get a lap.
Laps here.
I reckon he can get a lap in and then box.
Surely he can't.
And then get out and get another one.
Out.
Well, I'm not entirely sure here because I can see that he's got 300 and let's say 360 seconds to be sure, and it's going to take him about 80 seconds to do his first out lap. And then about 75 seconds if he messes up, or just let's say another 80.
He's going to be on full throttle almost all the time.
He'd have to be full throttle in lap 80, which would leave him with
it's very
120
close,
seconds.
Got to take into account the time it takes to get him back into his pit lane.
Let's say it takes him 45 seconds to get into the pits and back out the pits. He'll still have 85 seconds to make his way around the circuit on the soft tyres.
It's close. It's so close, though.
And, well, we've seen Brady's track report. I just skimmed it through because I was on a long car journey. And I had to make sure... Yeah, as he sent it to me beforehand and just saying, is this okay? And I obviously blanked him because I couldn't check my phone at the time. But I did read it, and it was, I advise everyone to read it. Even if you're watching the stream now, you're out in Q1, or if you haven't read it, I'd read it.
Or you're racing tomorrow.
It's definitely worth the read because he highlights some really key issues that we're going to be dealing with, and we've had a good in-depth discussion in the FIA owners and admins chats about these issues, and particularly the DRS.
I feel like that would be an issue here if we didn't put the finger down on it.
It is because it was a tactic I employed quite a lot in Season 2 around Mexico to keep my position defending Watts as it was at the time. And it was a tactic that I was very much sticking with. I've done it a few times. I think me and you did it at Monza.
Yeah, I'm all for doing it, as long as it's sensible. But the thing is, a lot of the drivers here aren't doing it in a sensible manner, which causes incidents to be given out.
To be fair, mate,
the example, unfortunately, being used was General Jake at Japan last week. Well, not last week, last time out.
I think with General Jake in Japan, I was definitely for the FIA, for the appeals team's decision. I was not involved in the FIA decision, so I know. And I'm not going to criticise the FIA because they do a splendid job to review all these incidents.
I would like to think the FIA were more focused on the DRS aspect of
That's
it
what
than
I
the fact
reckon.
It caused a collision.
I reckon it was submitted as a DRS incident from Halsey, I believe, which we didn't actually have a rule on. So, and you're right, Davis is going for 2 laps. We didn't actually have a rule on that, so you can't prosecute on something you haven't got a rule against. So the FIA's decision was very much correct. Although the appeal from Halsey was that it caused a collision, which the appeals team then looked at it from that perspective of causing a collision, which is a pretty much stone rule 5-second, 2 penalty points.
General J, the reason why we're calling out your incident is because it was used as the example in general chats. We're not targeting you personally, we're just doing the example that's been shown to the general public in the Discord.
So, I think the best way of describing it is, you can now get punished for slowing down on DRS if noticed. But whereas before it would have had to cause an incident, now it no longer has to cause an incident. So that's the main takeaway.
If it's dangerous driving, then it should be penalised. But if it's just 2 people squabbling for position, and one can brake a little bit earlier than another, safely, then that's fine. But you can't be stupid with it. because it needs to just happen in the natural instincts of fighting.
I think me and you at Monza's a good example, because I think we did it for 2 separate laps, and one of them I backed off a bit and you drove past me, didn't realise I was doing it, and that was fine. But then the second example was you doing it back to me not doing it again, and we just sat at 60 mile an hour going into Parabolica with the cars approaching behind us. And it was...
There was no one near us, though.
But there was about 8 seconds behind, wasn't it? And I wasn't moving. I was not moving. You had to move in the end, and you got me in the end because you got the jump on me out there. I still
got the DRS.
Corner. So, yeah.
I mean, we were being a bit stupid, but if there was cars around us at the time, we definitely would not have done something like that.
So we made sure it was safe, but...
C. Davies is going for it here.
That's now not going to be allowed, and I just thought we should probably point that out for people.
100%. But the punishment, if there is no contact and nothing really happens, obviously you can't be that strict on the punishment.
I think if there is no contact, and I mean, I know it's probably, contrary to Brad's track report, so we'll have to see we'll need a case.
C. Davies P9, he's done just enough in theory to get himself through here.
I have a feeling that if there is if there's an example, I have a feeling that there's no contact, it won't even be submitted.
I mean, some people here will be that type of person and still submit it, but regardless, this is going to be Kitch's last lap of the session. He's up a lot on his time, but he needs to get this lap valid. If he can get through here across the line, he goes P4. That's good enough for him. He will be seen in Q3.
Kitch and Bruno doing Alfa Romeo bit.
Unfortunately, dropping down into
Rafe
P11.
is the driver at risk now as well, with Bradders and C. Davies pretty much confirmed out already, and Raza, who's said he's got pace around here, is coming on a lap now. So Rafe is the driver at risk.
Important to note though, Rafe is behind Raza, so he can react to if Raza goes past him or not.
And he can slow down and stay on the medium tyres. We know Johan, Davies and Rafe are all... Sorry, Johan, Davies and Bradders are all pretty much done here now. So we're going to see Raza cross the line.
He improves.
Raza has to commit to... Rafe has to commit to softs now. So he's 5 tenths up already. So it does look like he will be knocking Jacko out, who's the driver at risk. So is it going to be Rafe? Or is it going to be Jacko? As Rafe crosses the final corner. And
he's committed to the softs and goes
into
P5.
the drop zone. So Jacko, Davies, Bradders and Johan are your 4 drivers out in qualifying 2.
And nobody's on the medium tyre, J-Wolf.
Nobody's on the medium tyre in the end, which pretty much sets up an even playing field, a level playing field for our drivers into Q3. Which is really, I don't know if it's interesting to see, Jamin. What do you think here? Do you like to see drivers on different strategies, or do you like it to be a level playing field, no one's got the advantage?
I would like to see how Jacko performs in this P11 position, because I know Jacko, he'll be a bit interesting with his in strategy. He might actually opt to stay on a fresh set of softs. So obviously the natural instinct, if you're on P11, go for a harder compound. I know Jacko will be thinking about all of these options and might actually opt to, stay on the softs. He might see something that other people don't.
We definitely need to know what the optimal strategy is around here, though, because I'm still not sure.
I've seen softs to mediums, but I've also seen soft, medium, soft.
In Season 2, what was the winning strategy? There was a lot of safety cars, though, so...
I mean, Season 2, Season 3, whatever it was. I don't know when we raced here, but I could not tell you what the strategy was, because...
Jeff, are you seeing the top 8 split by 4 tenths?
I am seeing that.
And the top 3 split by a tenth.
And that's something you can only get here at NXR. Luke Watkins saying the appeals team are GOATs. I appreciate that as a member of the appeals team, but really all the credit goes to Ali, who is the leader of the appeals team, and me and Cal are just the underlings.
FIA.
So, there is your top 10. Any surprises there in the top 10 as we see the double underflow as we head into Q3? It's a beautiful screenshot.
I'm not entirely sure about surprises, really. I'm quite surprised not to see Jacko in the top 10. But, and Davies, but he went at the mediums, like you said. Other than that, I'm not entirely surprised.
I think Razza's the surprise of the bunch. Not to say that Razza isn't quick, but I think Razza's definitely the one that's surprised a few people, I think, in this session. It was a great lap for him to force Rafe onto those tyres.
It was very much crucial, because if Rafe started on the mediums, then he would have had a massive advantage, I think.
Definitely. And I think credit to him for forcing Rafe onto the same strategy as everyone else. Brad is saying he overestimated his chances on the mediums. He had top 5 pace easily. It's a shame to not see Bradders in Q3, but we know him. He's got brilliant racecraft, and he's going to get some great points today, I suspect.
Yeah, I hope so, obviously, being one of his fans. I always describe myself as the fans of the drivers, but I would never say there's a driver I actually dislike in NXR. I kind of like all of them.
I don't think you can, I mean, except from Yaps, but you can't really.
Yeah, down with Yaps. He disrespected Hedginho.
Yeah. There's always the hate driver of the week, and you know that usually goes to Yaps. But we do love Yaps, all things considered. He may make some less popular choices, but at the end of the day, he's point hungry. He wants the constructors, and I guess he just thinks that Millsy will have a better shot getting points than Hedginho.
I do like all the different personalities we've got on NXR, and I don't think any two people are the same and similar. I think everyone has a unique sort of element they bring to the table, and I can tell you, see, Bruno for me is that washed champion.
Washed. He's just about to start a lap here, and you're going to call him washed.
No disrespect to Bruno, he's the GOAT.
As we do watch this lap from the Bruno, I would like to ask for everyone watching to follow the stream, check out our social medias, our Twitter, our YouTube, and as Jay will mention earlier, our TikTok. It's not what you think. It's going to be very informative instead of
Shaman dancing.
Stupid. It is not me dancing, but I would like to say that again, if you follow us on other areas of social media, feel free to subscribe here as well. If you have Twitch Prime, we would surely appreciate you using your Twitch Prime here. There are some emotes for you to play with, such as my face or a pregnant lady, in jokes of the NXR world.
And I think we've also got the link to the Discord as well in the Twitch bio.
I believe so. I don't know. I can't really check that. Nor
new drivers.
Get a link right now. But this has been a great lap from the Bruno so far. What do you think this benchmark is going to be, J-Wall?
I reckon possibly a 114-ish, maybe, you know. I'm hoping, actually, but shockingly, as Bruno rounds the final corner to go over 115.4, shockingly, the guy that went first goes fastest.
But will Kitch have an answer to that around the final corner
Kitch
now?
Does get into
he's
the
had a bit of a wiggle, but he's much faster.
Phenomenal lap.
Much faster.
But is Kitch one of those drivers that was within 2 tenths? He was 4th, wasn't he, in Q2?
Here comes Millsy now, the reserve.
He was one of the top 3.
That's the way to make
he
a
goes
statement.
14.7. And the gap was very similar between Millsy and Kitch, as it was in Q2. As Millsy, I think it's Millsy, Yaps, and who was the third one? No, wasn't Rafe, was it?
I don't know, but Riot just jumped Kitch by barely hundredths and goes P2. Coming up next is one of the Williams boys. It is Razza. Then it will be the Artifact. Both of them have done a tremendous job to get here into Q3. Actually, Rob, despite not being here, has pulled a masterclass, and all of his drivers have made it through into Q3. Can we just applaud that for a moment?
It's the Rob effect. It's the Rob effect. It's what he does.
It's why he's co-tied principal. Him and Ali are on top of the world there and know how to manage their drivers to get the best they can.
Best team principal last season.
That was last season, but overall, all-time NXR. As Rafe has a second warm-up lap, he's going to get a delicious toe off of drive on driver here.
I wonder if this is intentional.
Oh my God, look at the...
Oh! Are they both on laps? They're both on laps, so neither of them are wanting to back off. Rafe does get past him, and I think...
I mean, they are both on laps, so it was a bit of a dangerous game from Rafe to try and get a toe from his teammate, and then they almost killed each other. So that's interesting.
Rob throwing fists in team chat tonight.
I don't think so, because there was no contact, and I don't know how much that affected Rafe's lap. I think Rafe just went on with it anyway.
Cries in Icelandic.
I'm sure that's just war cries instead of just sobbing.
Wouldn't surprise me.
You don't want to get on the bad side of Rob.
Jake fishing for Alpine, Callum fishing for Alpine in the chat. They're all coming for Bradley's teams.
Well, see, the thing is with that, I don't need to worry about trying to get that team, because I know that Ali is going to leave his team onto me if he ever wishes to retire from Team Principality.
Principality. Team Monaco. I know,
I
that
mean,
was such an obvious joke.
He is a prince after all, he is the Crown Prince of Monaco. Rafe has had a bit of a slow start to the session. Only
yeah, but he
5
had that
drivers
collision.
out of the 10 have managed to make valid laps, as we see Rafe cutting across the grass there.
He's like, oh, I'm gone. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if that's on Bradley's track report. I will clip that.
I mean, it's not on the track report, but you have to know as a ward of NXR, you can't be cutting the track to get back to the pits quicker.
No,
and I don't think that's what he was doing.
I think it was on Bradley's track report. Let me have a look. I definitely think Bradley's track report.
It's not on the track report, but the rule is you can't cut across the track to get back to the pits faster, and he's clearly not doing that as he goes across his second sector fine, so I don't think we need to punish him for anything. I think we're going to go on board with Yaps though here, and he's going to hopefully set a really nice lap on these softs. If he doesn't get pole today though, would you say it's a failure?
I think
considering what he has to do for Ferrari?
That Mark and Kimi aren't here, realises it's his job now, it's on him to get pole, and he's been phenomenal all season. And I think if you're looking at the standings, you're looking at the races, he's been the third best driver so far this season.
100% it is his pole position to lose here.
He will feel like if he doesn't get it, it will be a disappointment for him, yes.
Especially if it isn't a driver like Rafe that ends up taking it, because it'll be a good excuse for that. It's like, oh, I didn't get pole, but at least it was to Rafe, someone that we know is quick. If it isn't Rafe, and he's got to look at himself and think, how was a rival that I've been driving with all season beat me here? He's got a purple sector 1, though it is a fantastic start.
It's what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to do. Only Yaps could be disappointed in himself if he doesn't. We're not going to say, you know, awful qualified performance Yaps, but he'll know.
I mean, it's not an awful qualifying performance unless he's in the bottom 5 of this session.
But
I think he would agree
what he expects of himself, he wants to be top 3 here at least.
He wants to be front row. The only person he would look at himself and think, I don't mind losing to, is Rafe.
Or
if he
Mills
loses to anyone else. Yeah, but even still, if you're bringing in a driver, you don't want him to show you up.
Ali, Yaps snakily dropped Hedginho and put Millsy in, and that's why Millsy's back, stepping in for Mark. Obviously,
yeah, very snaky there from Yaps as he goes P4. What a shame indeed.
I'm sure we'll see maybe another lap from him if there's 3 minutes left. He might have enough time as Millsy retires. Millsy's gonna do a Sebastian Vettel here. He thinks he's done enough. He's gone off down the pit lane. He's had enough now. He doesn't think he needs to.
I mean, with a lap like that, it's gonna be hard to top.
Set another lap, but we obviously got a few drivers who I think are definitely capable of taking this off him, and I want to know, maybe he might regret not going out and trying again. I know it's a little bit late,
Jeff. Everyone else is on laps or out laps. We'll go on board with Gifted, who is yet to set a lap.
Who's your 50p on right now then? Because I know it's a little bit late, but are you going to go?
I'll say Rafe because it's not a bad guess to put Rafe in.
Yeah, I reckon Rafe, but we could also see, I'll say Artifact at his home Grand Prix in inverted commas. He actually had me fooled. Full half season as teammates, and I didn't doubt it once.
Just so you know, Jay, in the intermission I might have to drop out.
Yeah, no, I think I've got to go get a drink anyways, so we can just have a little intermission.
Just
process.
be prepared, you might need to commentate the start if I'm gone for longer than expected.
Okay, no worries. I will be definitely back before the start.
No
Ali.
problem, no problem.
Yeah,
You
it
can talk
is.
about strategies and everything. But
We,
for now, we will focus on things. Oh, Ali, we talk about the 50p every stream because it is an iconic statement
it's
of
iconic.
NXR.
Yeah.
Here comes Gifted across the line, the deployment's being used, and he goes
It's
P2.
P2.
What a lap!
Good lap from Gifted making a statement for Red Bull. Good track. The move's been going around
Rafe's on a
Mexico.
flying lap right now. We're going to cut to the cinematic shots because he will be the driver that we want to see do well here. The reserve for Mercedes. He wants to be like Lewis Hamilton. He wants to do Lewis Hamilton
I'll tell you what
things
I
in
really
pole
want to
position.
see. I want to see
It's
Rafe
definitely a
versus
Lewis Hamilton
Gifted
thing.
because it's just something I love seeing Mercedes battling Red Bull, whether it be real life.
I mean, Gifted's off in the dirt at the end of turn 1.
We did have a season, didn't we, where Red Bull had and Mercedes both had good seasons, or am I
Well, that was
imagining
Ice
things?
Cream and Milkman, wasn't it?
Was that? Yeah. Okay. I reckon maybe it was that.
And then Milkman did the Spurs and finished 3rd in a 2-horse race.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always gonna get that dig at Spurs in.
But this has been a phenomenal lap from Rafe, and
He's invalidated.
but he's just invalidated on the final corner. Oh my word!
But it would have been pole
He's
by
gonna be
3
P10.
tenths. It was pole by 3 tenths. But he's not finished. He's gonna have to go again with so little ERS. But he was 3 tenths up.
Oh
so can he still get
word.
it? Because he was 3 tenths up on Millsy's lap.
Driver on driver's not gonna get it. He's hit the wall and he's invalidated.
I don't
Oh,
think.
and that's a massive crash from Kitch.
Oh, Kitch is in
the
wall.
middle of sector 2. He was giving it all the beans in the world, and he's out.
That's Kitch's qualifying done, but I'm
and
still
he's having
thinking
to stay
Rafe can
near
get
the wall
this.
to allow driver on driver to come through. He doesn't realise that he's also having issues.
Yeah, Rafe is still purple sector 1.
Rafe is still on a lap, but there's going to be cars in the
ERS.
way if he keeps catching up, and we're going to go back on board with Rafe to try and see how they deal with this issue.
A little bit of information on Rafe's first lap. He was 3 tenths up on Millsy's phenomenal lap time.
But look at his ERS!
His ERS is gone now. He's got to do the final.
It's not gone. He managed to keep it on. He was on 1%. He was still fine.
Driver gets out the way. It's been a phenomenal debut performance. He's captured our hearts with this lap, though. We all want him to do it. Come on, Ray. As he rounds the final corner without ERS, what can he do? He goes fastest.
He's done it!
He's done it by almost 3 tenths of a second. A phenomenal lap.
You can't leave it later than that, and look at his deployment. It is literally 0%, J-Wall.
He's cut that one fine, hasn't he? He has cut that one fine.
He had 20% starting the lap. He gained enough in the lap, got down to 1% on the middle of that sector 2 straight. And my word.
I'll tell you what that lap is,
everything
Shane.
that the car had.
I'll tell you what that lap is.
And
that
what
is the
that
bee's
lap?
knees.
Bee's knees in the underflow. I mean, Gale Force is having an aneurysm as we speak. And as our commentators will bid you adieu for now, we will come back before the start of the race, which I will have to put as starting at 9:30. We wish you farewell for now, and we will see you in the race.
Right, NXR, thank you for waiting for me to do that. So, whilst we're waiting for Jeff, obviously, I think I'll probably do some sort of interactive thing whilst I'm waiting to get into this. So, I think we'll do some sort of, kind of Q&A, kind of who do you think will win, kind of stuff with the chat. And that's why I need you to kind of get involved and kind of carry me here, guys, because, we got 5 minutes to fill. We might as well do a little bit of discussion and stuff. So, let's go with winner. Who's going to win? Come on, guys, got to get involved in this. Who are we thinking's winning this? I'll take that one. Ali. I think Rafe's going to be a strong contender as well. Looking at his pace in social races, looking at his pace in academy races, there's definitely something about him that spells he's going to win here. Artifacts, well, yeah, I really hope so as well there, Philip, because obviously teammates for half a season at Red Bull, and this is his home Grand Prix, I say, rather, I don't know the word here, dubiously maybe. I read Wookie's going Artifacts as well, so Artifacts got some support here. Really good to see some Artifact support here, especially considering it's his home Grand Prix. So, yeah, really looking forward to seeing what he can pull. I think from P4, drive on driver. Oh, wow, I don't know where he's starting. So, but he's a good driver. I haven't seen loads of him, to be fair. But I really want to see a little bit more of him today, attacking, going for that podiums, going for that win. And if you think he can win it, Cal, I don't blame you because he's a good driver. But as the other 19 drivers in this with him, I think Millsy can't be ruled out here. Obviously, he used to be part of Alfa Romeo, so slightly biased, but I do think you can't rule out Millsy. I also think Jacko is going to be a big surpriser because he's on P11. He's going to be on a better optimal strategy, I reckon. So who are we going for first to DNF? Because I think this is going to be one that causes a lot of... no one really wants to bet on someone to DNF. So I'm gonna go with Oil Prince because I know he'll love that. Gifted to be the first to DNF. Well, he's in a really high position.
Why are we talking about first people to DNF?
Well, I've done race winner, so I went with first to DNF. It's a different kind of question. It's not been asked before. So obviously drivers aren't going to feel great if people say him. Actually, that's probably not the best thing to say. But no, but gifted Oil. That's what we want to see at Genio. I take it you think Oil Prince is going to be the first to DNF as well, Jeff?
I don't think anyone's going to DNF.
Only Oil. We're going 19 drivers to finish today, then. Alright. No,
sure, whatever.
The track itself is one where I think we'll see a few DNFs. I just think it'll catch people out if they're not paying full attention to it. Yaps.
Why is Ali said killer hentai games?
I couldn't see the starred words.
Wait, what do you mean starred words?
Well, no.
Have you got censorship?
Yeah, I've got censorship on. Oh, I've got a chat filter in my settings.
I love how they blocked out the word hentai.
I mean, I would
hentai
argue
is
that's an
acceptable here at NXR.
Word.
Hentai is acceptable at NXR, I think.
And for Bradders, who's wondering what the hell is going on because he's innocent-minded, don't look it up.
Yaps is into hentai. I mean, he is Thai after.
Why did I feel like a racial comment was coming then?
It's not racial comment. The Asians like hentai.
It is the Asians.
It's not racist. It's only racist if it's a stereotype and it's incorrect. It's correct in this instance, so it's not racist.
Oh, I can't argue with the logic.
I'm not saying only
Ali
Asians like hentai. I'm just saying Asians do like hentai. I'm saying other ethnicities also like hentai. I hear the blacks are quite into hentai these days.
Blacks. I don't think you're getting yourself out of this one, Jeff. I don't think you get yourself out.
I'm not in anything, that's the issue. I'm just enjoying myself. And would you like to run down the tyre choices for this race?
Okay, so I'll get it up because the spectator menu seems to have reset for me and I don't like this. I have to set it up, so good, thanks for reminding me here. So tyre choices. Well, everybody in the top 10 on softs, as we knew, going into this because of the qualifying. Jacko, Davies, Brad is all going for mediums. Gale Force and Oil Prince and Kimmy are the others on mediums. Milkman on the softs, he'll probably attack Kimmy off the start. Drops has got a few positions to make after his qualifying ban, so he'll be going. And Scrivs also on the softs, so he'll be trying to make positions really, really fast, get into high positions and not lose them, which is going to be what you want to do on the soft strategy. Whereas on the mediums, you've got to be a bit more conservative with it. And I don't want to make that joke. Don't want to do political humour today. And you've got to be.
Who's conservative?
I was just saying the medium runners have got to be more conservative with their strategies and not attack as off the start as much.
Well, the Labour will be more offensive, I'm guessing then.
I was going to say you've got to be more conservative and starve the kids, but you know, that's why I didn't say that. If we don't do political humour
I just said something involving the blacks.
Yeah, fair enough.
You've got to say something involving the politics.
Are you doing the start, mate, or?
You do the start, mate. You were good at it last week. You should do it now. I'll be on board with the cinematic camera.
Well, in a round that doesn't involve Mark, it's Kimmy's race to take full advantage of it with absolutely nothing to lose. Rafe and Millsy on the front row, though. And it's lights on the way we go in Mexico. Rafe needs a good start, but does he get it? He does. He gets away really well, but Gifted in third has come through and almost done the real-life Max Verstappen. He's going to go wide, I think. Is he going to try and dive at the inside? He's not, but Millsy's coming through, and so comes Bruno, who's took too wide of the line. Gifted's took full advantage of that. Rafe gets away, 5 tenths away for Millsy.
And it's been a great start from Yaps, considering he started in P8. He's gone up 3 positions in this first lap. Also, well done to Yoan, who after a race ban in Singapore has come back and gained 4 positions
Yaps going
on the
around the
opening
outside
lap.
of Gregor Mullen, yeah, around the double apex. He's got to go the long way round. Gregor Mullen's going to defend. This is going to go all the way through to the S's. Will Gregor Mullen back out? He isn't backing out at all. And he goes for the move.
That's great confidence from Gregor.
He carried that through about 5 corners.
He's got Eugenio spirit in him as the Haas driver stops his team principal getting past. You love that.
Now the Razza and Artifact are in overtaking distance of each other as well. Is there going to be team orders in play? I'm sure Rob's been talking about stuff like this with them drilling him on it. So I'm not going to focus on that too much. But Rafe has almost pulled a second away from Millsy and is making a statement and a half here.
I mean, you say it's Kimmy's race to lose. It's Kimmy's race to lose a good amount of points because it's a tough job to catch Rafe when he starts.
Rafe has been phenomenal. Millsy's on his return. We've all wanted to see him back, and I hope you've been well, mate, since you've been out of NXR. But this is phenomenal. His pace has been phenomenal, and they are 1.2 seconds collectively ahead of Gifted. So they are your Kimmy and Mark today. Definitely. On
Yoan getting another position as he takes Jammy Jacko. Those mediums definitely not going to be quicker than the softs currently. Yoan is darting up this field with a big point to prove.
Oh, Kimmy making the overtake on Bradders. Bradders having to do a bit of evasive action here. And Milkman is going to try and make the move on Bradders. He's got to go around the outside of the S's.
Oh my word.
And I think he backs out a little bit, but he's going to try and carry the speed better through these S's and get him on the launch into the 90-degree corner. Milkman goes very wide. I would be surprised if that's not a warning. And he can't get Bradders just yet. We might start to see a train forming here at Mexico.
With DRS enabled, it will be a bit difficult to overtake if there's a massive train. Rafe continuing to set fastest laps. Will anyone actually beat him on this second lap?
Millsy's keeping it within a second. I will point that out.
Just so you guys know, with the static mic, it is not a... Just so you guys know, with the static mic, it is not an issue in the party, it is an issue with the game and how it controls. We have done issues in the past to try and prevent that, and we will see if we can do the same now, but please know it might be completely out of our hands. You can continue commentating, J-Will.
more speed than him, being on not even on soft sides. I just think Scripps recognises that Drops got more pace, and he's like, okay, I'll let you attack on driver, so I'll let you pass. And I think it's really good teamwork from Scripps to recognise his teammates probably got a little bit more pace here, to let him pass, and he's going to go for the move into the S's here. You've seen a few of those.
Great move. Oh, but he's had a little wiggle.
He almost loses it though.
Scribs is going to have a go on driver as well, but can't make it happen. Here comes Kimmy as well onto the back with DRS. These should be easy positions for the championship leader, but
I believe Riot won here last time, didn't he, in Tier 1, whilst debuting in Tier 1?
I don't know that for sure.
He would have done, and he got a drive-through at the end.
That is some insane knowledge, Jay. Well, that's why he's here, ladies and gentlemen. NXR history is his domain.
But he's going to make the move here on the Season 1 champion, LeBruno. And he gets it done a fake into turn 1. Bruno's going to find it all the way. Bruno's got a better line in the first corner. And I think Mullen's just going to try and get a better exit. And he has. And he's got DRS.
Still engaged here. The second DRS zone of this lap. The Haas driver up into P4. Only made the right choice not to let laps overtake him just a few laps prior.
Brilliant move, that one, from Mullen, who's on charge right now. He is on a charge. And Gifted is the next guy in his sight. And like a hunter, like a lion, he hunts his prey. And Gifted is the next guy to come under threat. And he's in the DRS zone.
This DRS zone is actually hindering Kimmy, as Scripps is just going to get towed along by driver, and it's going to be really difficult for Kimmy to make any moves here, stuck in dirty air.
Mullen has a 7/10 disadvantage to Gifted, but he has a roughly equal amount of ERS. So is he going to use it to get the move done here? He's not using the overtake button at all. He's just going to try and close the advantage down for the DRS between turn 3 and 4, which he has got. It's now 0.2 of a second going through the first chicane, and if he can get the exit like he got before, he can potentially get him next. It's 0.6 of a second starting it. I don't think he's going to see the move this lap.
Depends
and Bruno, by the way, is not this. Bruno almost goes into the back of Mullen.
My word.
Haas haven't had the best season so far in NXR this season, and I think it'd be really nice to see them potentially get a podium here.
Callum saying Riot is insane around here. Ali saying let's go Kimmy. A lot of drivers.
Yes, Callum saying Tier 1 debut proved that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure you should have won it, but didn't.
Yep, it's coming right up to the back of LeBruno now. I'm not sure if he can keep this
Milton
gap.
Gets past Bradders up the inside before the stadium section. Good move, solid move from Milton. As Bradders goes into the back of him.
Oh no, that's bad. Yaps is going to need to make this overtake on LeBruno, but he has DRS and Gregor in front.
Do you know Jeremy Carter's going, oh no, anyway.
I mean, if we're talking about that...
Oh no, that's bad.
I've done much worse. I've done much worse. Remember back in Imola when I said, oh, he's died, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Gifted very close to the Haas driver now, but currently in P3, I think this Haas driver might start to get a nosebleed. Haas, quite infamous, not getting points yet this season. And I think the only team to have not scored a podium, unless it happened last time out.
Haas, this season.
Yes.
They have only got 4 points between them. All 4 drivers.
Yeah, they don't have a podium at all. I think they got their first points finish last week, and that was a reserve in Tier 2. So Gregor here definitely's got sights on a podium.
And he's in the podium, by the way. He's got it. He's just got Gifted. I didn't see that.
This constructor championship, and it might be decisive for the #1 pick in the draft, or it could be to their detriment. They don't want the #1 pick in the draft. They want this podium.
And I think it's worth pointing out that Millsy is 2.5 seconds almost away from Rafe now. Rafe pulled out this massive advantage, and Mullen is about 4 seconds behind Millsy. So he's got a job to do if he wants to win it. And it's pretty much an impossible job.
But Bruno's
to
gone a bit
catch
wide
Rafe
here, and
by
Yaps is
that
going to
much.
close up on him. He's had a mess of the last couple of corners, and Yaps is right on his trumpet here. Burning everything to try and get closer. Bruno's going to be an absolute stone wall. And he's not going to get it's not going to get the move this time round, but Yaps is knocking at the door.
I think Yaps could go for the risky move that we've seen a lot so far today into the Ashes, and I do have to say, Jeff, I hope we don't see any of that on us tomorrow.
Yaps already has 3 seconds, so he needs to make these moves sooner rather than later.
He just can't afford to sit back and let them be. Brad is now the latest to get a penalty.
Drop has up 7 positions on the start, despite having the quali ban for incidents last time out. He's rocketing up this grid, I must say.
And I think Gifted in the DRS is now only 5 tenths behind Gregor Mullen, who's using all of his ERS to stay ahead. Gift is not touching his ERS.
We've got a battle for P19 now. Gale Force getting a bit shaky. And Oil Prince and him fighting around these last couple of corners.
This is a good move here from Oil Prince if he can make this stick. Obviously, Gale Force will fight that all the way.
Milkman gets past Jacko, but really the P19 battle is the most interesting battle that we can ever hope to show on the grid. I
think Gifted Mullen's going to be pretty good, but Gifted sort of outbreaks himself. Yaps 6 tenths of a second away from Bruno. Artifact 7 tenths behind that. He's been backed by a few people to win today. So, he's got a job to do now, but, you know, if there's one guy I think can do it, it's him, so.
Quite right.
Yaps boxes! Yaps is the first to pull the trigger. He's going for that undercut.
Jay, can you take over again, please? My bad.
Yeah, absolutely no worries, mate. So Yaps is in the box. And he's going to pull the undercut on Bruno. So it's going to be up to Bruno and Gifted to react to this. And if it doesn't work, if he gets held up, then Artifact is going to be absolutely loving life, because that's a free position. So we've got to see how the others react to this now. That's the important thing. And I think we're watching Kitch here on the stream. But I will try my best to talk through what's happening a little bit further up as Millsy gets a 3-second time penalty. And that means Mullen, right now, needs to gain only 1.3 to find himself in P2. So it's lap 9 and ticking down as Rafe just rounds the last corner. What has been a brilliant debut so far, and I've loved watching it, and he's just looked so dominant. And I think he's already ready for Tier 1 and the draft, and I do see him as almost definitely in every single team principal's mind. As Millsy boxes, Gregor Mullen boxes, Bruno boxes, Artifact boxes, Johan boxes, all of them are reacting to Yaps here. Scriv stays out, Kimmy stays out. They are on the, Branner stays out. They are on the medium tyres. Jacko stays out, again on the medium tyre. So we're seeing the medium tyre runners go a lot longer here, as to be expected, because they're going to have more pace at the end. And it'll be quite interesting to see how that works out for them, because they'll be able to just hang on to the back of the soft runners for the first stint, and they'll be able to just really attack the second stint. Bradders rocks currently sitting 9 tenths off his teammate, is just casually dragging him along, but his ERS really low. Jacko in a roughly similar position here. Scrivs, he's still on the soft, so he's, you know, his tyres are going to start getting worse and worse. He's going to have to box soon if he's not, you know, if he wants to avoid collisions or with walls and stuff, because the more tyre wear you've got, obviously, the more risk you are. Kimmy He's up 15 positions as it stands, but that's deceiving. He hasn't boxed yet. He's on the medium tyres. He'll be looking to go a little bit longer. Kitch comes into the box now. Finally, for Kitch. You get to 5 seconds for speeding. That is really bad for Rapid Kitch. We'll have to pit again. So, yeah, that's not brilliant as Kimi goes up to P2. And you wouldn't be mistaken for thinking they didn't start at the back and this is just Kimi being Kimi. But no. Kimi did start at the back, but he has not boxed yet. A lot saying she's got the strategy covered for Kimi, so, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know how good your strats are, lots, but if you want to talk more about the strategy in the Twitch chat, I'm sure a lot of our drivers aren't listening to the Twitch because me talking can be distracting for anybody, let alone someone who's trying to complete 36 laps around Mexico. Millie's saying, I hope Jeff's okay, and I think we all do. Mate, I'm pretty sure it's just some sort of everyday kind of thing he's got to do, but, you know, I'm sure he'll appreciate your concern. And once he gets back, I'll make sure to pass that on to him. Rafe 13 seconds in front of Kimi, but he hasn't boxed. Is Rafe on the mediums? No, he isn't, is he? He was pushed to the soft. So Rafe's going longer. I think Rafe's going for the one stop. And Alec just giving us some peace of mind about Jeff. And he is okay, and that's what we all like to hear from Ali. So thanks for the update there, mate. I'm sure Manoy will be thankful for that as well. Rafe 13 seconds in front of Kimi, who's 3 seconds in front of Bradders, but we're mainly looking at the gap between Millsy and Rafe, because that's what Millsy's going for, the undercut here. And I'll just have a little look at your gap to leader here. And the gap to leader is 21 seconds. Now, I'm not sure about how long it is, as I think this is C. Davies into the box right now. So, is that C. Davies? No, that's Yoan. My bad. Completely my bad there. But Bradders gets another 3 second. Time penalties cropping up everywhere now. I think that Rafe might be at risk of an undercut here. It's, I would be concerned if I was Rafe. I'm surprised he's not boxing, but he must be trying to go a long distance on these softs to try and get onto the mediums and go till the end. That one stop that we've talked about, that Shaman mentioned earlier on in qualifying, and I was debating whether it was the optimal strategy with him, whether it was a 2-stop. Well, we're going to find out here, because we've got Millsy, who's going for the 2-stop, and Rafe, who's going for that 1-stop, and this is going to be phenomenal to see if it works. Obviously, people who know more about strategy than me might be saying, well, obviously it works, you know? But for me, watching, who doesn't know, who hasn't studied the strategies, who hasn't looked at it, I'm thinking, well, this is quite an interesting dynamic here. Radio NXR hosted by Jay Wall. Well, it you know, I try my best, Jeff. I try my best. Let's have a look at other interesting battles going on. Millsy is 5 attempts off C. Davies, who hasn't boxed yet, so I'm pretty sure C. Davies won't fight that one. Too difficult. Kitch and Bruno 5 attempts off each other. Bradders is having a bit of a panic attack here then, seeing 2 of his teammates battling it out. Jeff Master Flash, Rafe will never make the 1-stop work. The pace disadvantage will be too much, and I think you're right there, Jeff. But thank you so much for your input there, mate. We always love drivers and ex-drivers and fans getting involved. So thanks for getting involved there. Yeah, so Rafe does come out behind Millsy, might I add. Millsy has made this undercut work phenomenally. So, all, you know, big credits to Millsy's strategist here. And I don't know about Kimi going for the 1-stop medium soft or medium hard or what, because I think I did speak about it a bit earlier, and I did say that that there's just the issue that the advantage, sorry, that Kimmy's got is that he doesn't actually have to score here. Like me and Jeff pointed out, if he doesn't score, he's got his engine penalty out the way with. Mark's still got to take his. Mark being absent here, so that's a massive, massive advantage for Kimmy here. Isn't 2 more 3-second time penalties are thrown out to Yaps and to Gale Force, I believe, as he boxes now and comes into the pit. So where will he come out? Well, there's a big train of cars coming around the final corner with Jacko as one of them. He's boxed. Branner stays out to take the lead of this race. Of course, not net lead as Millsy, sorry, and Rafe. Oh, so close behind him that I think he'll be taking this time here. As Kimmy's dropping down the order, he'll come out phenomenally. P10, that's a great first stint from Kimmy, and he's on the softs until the end now. So, locked. Good call on the strategy there. I'll give you some credit for that one. As Drops, I think we see Drops looking to make the move on Bruno, and Bruno looking to make the... So, I am so sorry about that one. Just could not get those words out. As Bruno looking to make the move on Razza as well. So there's a 3-way battle going on for P7. And it's a VSC. What has happened there? Yoan gets a 5-second time penalty corner cutting. I'm not entirely sure what's happened here. I'm just trying to investigate. Yoan's DNF'd. Yoan's gone into the pits. Yoan's done. But I'm not entirely sure what this VSC is for. Well, that's really good news for Bradders, though, I think. Who's going to get a free pit stop here, pretty much. And, of course, the pack is neutralised under a VSC at a slower pace. I think it's 60% or something. So Bradders here going to get a free pit stop relative to Jamie Jacko, who came out in P18. So Bradders is going to box and will probably come out a little bit better. Bradders boxes. A few drivers going past him already, so we'll see as... I think was this Bruno Kitch comes into the box as well to get off those mediums. Bradders comes out. P10 for Bradders. P11 actually. But really a good bit of luck there for Bradders to gain a few positions. Of course, Jacko, who was in front of him, boxed a lap before and came out P19. So very lucky for Bradders there. And it's green lighted now. Millsy has lost out to Rafe. I am so sorry I missed that completely. I was focusing on a battle further down. So now Millsy is the hunter again. And Rafe goes back to being the hunted, but Rafe has already put a second between the two. Rafe's pace is unmatched. Rafe's pace is phenomenal today. And I'm just looking a bit further down here. Gifted's back on the podium. Gregor Mullen, who's already done it once, is looking to do him again. And he's going to have DRS down the main straight to contend with here. He's got DRS open, but Gift is not pumping any DRS either. I think he's going to go for this, Gregor Mullen, on the inside at turn 1. He's going to try. He's going to take as much of the curb as he can. Gifted defends us so well. He's aggressive, but he's not cutting Gregor Mullen off at all. He gets the better exit, and he doesn't even have to worry now. Kinney already up to P5, making up 14 places and proving why he's our championship leader as he gets past Razza. And Bruno's looking to go up the inside, and Razza's contacted in touch as Razza's going around the outside. Bruno's going up the inside, and Bruno just can't turn as well as Razza. And Razza's back wheels have been clipped slightly. Bradders rocks in P10. Trying to make up positions on the softer tyres. He's got Yaps in front of him who's on the mediums. So he's going to make this stick sooner rather than later, I think. As he goes through the stadium section now. It's quite impressive, this. I was going to say they roar for Artifact. I thought he was close by, but he's P18, and that might be what the VSC was brought out for. And Bradders going to pump ERS and DRS here to try and get this done on Yaps down the main straight. And Bradders gets that done. Thank you very much, Yaps, is what Bradders has got to say there. Yaps obviously on the slower tyres, realising it's inevitable. He can't fight it. He best not lose as much time as he can. He's playing a different game here, Yaps. Yaps is on a completely different strategy. So why play strategy? He's going to play pace, but he's got to play the long game here. And Bradders is now involved in a pack of 4 drivers, though, including himself. And he might have a bit of trouble getting past Drops, Bruno and Rata, who are all fighting each other quite aggressively for position. And I think it's worth noting the gifted Mullen battle, a new competitor has entered the arena. Kimmy is now on the back of them, as you guys can see. So it's going to be nice to look about. You can see it. Gregor goes for the move. Forces Gifted wide. Gifted's going to go up the inside again. He's going to carry the place. He's going to try, Gregor, to pull the inside, and Kimmy might get wing damage from that. And they're all going for each other here. It's all kicking off in a battle for the final podium position. And I think Kimmy's going to get this move done easily. Just a much better exit, the much better tyres. Kimmy's going to go for 2 for 1 here. What a discount that is. And Mullen's also going to get gifted with his DRS advantage. I am a bit terribly sorry, guys, if I feel like I'm breaking mid-sentence. It's just that, well, I'm using my trick as much as I can, but this is quite voice intensive, doing this by myself at the moment, so I'm obviously struggling a little bit. So if you can, if I cut out a little bit, I'd just appreciate if people cut me a little bit of slack in that department there, because I think it's going to happen, covering the action by myself, trying my best to give you guys the best commentary. Here as Kimmy's moved up to P3, and he's already done his medium stint. Millsy and Rafe currently doing theirs. So if Kimmy can catch up a little bit, I don't think the win is off here. As you've got a yellow flag, it looks to me like that's Razza.
It's Razza. He's out of the session, J-Wall.
It's Jeff. Jeff's back.
Hello. I'm doing my best to be here for NXR. I apologise wholeheartedly, 100% from my chest, that you did not have visual aspects for about 10 laps, I believe it was, but we're back here now, just as the safety car comes out, so you don't need me for a bit longer, but we're here now. We have to deal with it.
It's personal life comes before NXR, mate, so just make sure everything's all good on your end.
It's not personal life, it's my body being a dick.
Whatever it is, mate.
So the gap between Rafe and Millsy was 24 seconds, but it's gonna probably stay that way. Will Rafe be able to box and come ahead of Millsy?
It was about 2 seconds, roughly. I think Kimmy's gonna be the biggest beneficiary here. Everyone's boxed here, and I just want to have a look at what tyres they've gone on to. Let's just have a quick. I want to say the word gander, but I'm not sure if that's a word. Gregor Mullen's on the softs. He's the only one, other than Drive on Driver. Everyone else has gone on to fresh mediums. They're going till the end. Now, I think Gregor and Drive on Drive are thinking he can get the softs to the end.
Rafe is going in. Rafe is going in.
Rafe boxes. I don't know if he's going to lose position here then.
It'll be interesting. We'll go on board with Millsy as he comes around the last couple of corners. And while we're at this intro, I just want to point out what a terrific job J-Wall has done in mass adversity.
Thank you.
Not many people could do the job you've just done there, and I wholeheartedly commend you. I believe Rafe is going to be able to come out in front of Millsy.
Such was the gap that he built on the track. He gets
and he's decided to go for medium tyres.
As is Millsy, as is Kimmy. The only guy that was in that battle for the podium that didn't was Gregor, who's gone for the softs, and I'm a bit curious if I will regret this. Thank you guys in the chat, thank you. I try my best for you all. I really do, and I love
to exceed expectations
to this community, because it's such a good community to do this kind of stuff for. Kimmy driver of the day so far, says Ali.
Well, possibly.
I think so.
He's gone up 16 positions, and I mean, very hard to do that.
Mark, if you're watching in California, enjoy your holiday. Stop
Where's
watching
that come
NXR.
from?
But yeah, if you're watching Knocking at any point, Kenny's sending a statement here, and you're gonna have to react to this when you get back, mate. But yeah, don't even worry about it. If you're watching NXR on your holiday, mate, stop. Go enjoy yourself or something, you
He's
know.
either watching NXR, racing, or piping his missus. Nothing else.
Can you not do both at the same time, knowing more?
I mean, I believe he has at one point. That's the
On
interesting
holiday?
thing.
Whilst
Oh, no,
racing.
not on holiday. I've just mean before. Like, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she's just gone down on him as he's crossed the line or something.
Probably
You never
Abu
know.
Dhabi on the last lap.
Oh, that's why he crashed.
We solved it, mate. That's why he's crashed.
Well, obviously he had to blame his equipment because... Yeah, but like...
He's not going to tell
she
everybody,
just came in,
Oh, I
flashed him.
opened your tyres on the safety car!
Oh,
and
dear.
if
Is
you
that
watch
a
the
Grosjean?
background, I haven't laughed there to be mean to one of our drivers. I have laughed because I actually friends of oil prince, and I'm going to banter him so hard for that. And he'll probably upload the clip of me crashing at Imola. Yeah.
Wookie's saying, bruh, Twitch dumb.
I can't see the message before that starred because I've got this censorship.
Oh
my God, I can get it.
Manoy?
Oh, yeah, Manoy.
Manoy
Yeah,
just
there
said fucking.
Thank you for that, Manoy.
So what happened to Yoan? He was doing quite well. We gained a few positions before I left. He's now down in P20.
I wasn't exactly sure. I think he retired by his own accord. He went into the pits and retired. So I'm not entirely sure what happened, but he clearly he thought, no, not for me anymore. Not today, I've had enough. And I think we've all thought that at some point in a race that hasn't quite gone our way.
Yeah.
Just pulled in and retired.
I've never retired in my own accord.
I think I have once.
If I have these issues tomorrow, there might be another story, but, I believe we'll be looking at safety car coming in this lap. I'm sure Artifact is close enough that it might do that. Could be wrong, however.
Maybe it stays out now. I think it would have come up by
it's gonna
now.
stay out. It's gonna stay out.
Which is good for the likes of Mullen, who's
No, it's a late
Oh,
call.
it's in!
It's a late call, Jay Wallen. Would you
I
like
don't know
to
what you're
commentate
doing
this
there,
restart?
Miranda. Well, Rafe is gonna. I think Rafe might try and take this slow, because I think that's a popular strategy we see. Try and get the launch at the last corner. Can he do it? Millsy's got to read this and react fast enough. No DRS for 3 laps. Oh, it's getting a bit feisty here. Rafe's left it to try to get a jump, and he's done it really well. Millsy almost causing a collision. Well, I wouldn't say it was Millsy.
Well,
that caused
I
that
would say
collision.
that's Rafe going too
That's
far out
definitely
wide and
Rafe.
trying to come in.
This is where the slipstream pays dividends, though.
Scribbs
Millsy's
jumps
gonna
drive on
get
driver,
anything.
the Bruno jumps gifted.
Rafe
And
jumps
here
to
comes
the inside. Millsy goes around the outside. He can't get it. Good defending from Rafe. And I think Rafe gets that done. And Millsy's got it.
Oh
Power
my
slide.
goodness.
And Kimmy is up into
Kimmy has
P2 and
survived another day,
chasing.
but here comes Gregor Mullen in the hat.
On the soft tyres. He's got to make
Oh
this
my
play
word,
at the start.
it's so tight there. How has
He's
no
going to go
one
round
been
the
hit?
outside of Kimmy.
Bumping wheels with Millsy. Yas down in P8. What a bad day at the office it's been for Yas.
Great move there for Gregor around the outside of the double apex to get round Millsy on those soft tyres. He's got to make this advantage work because he'll be really praying towards the end of this Grand Prix.
Gregor deserves this podium if he can keep it together for another 14 laps.
But he's on the soft tyres, Shaman. On the soft tyres.
Are they fresh softs? Let me just have a
They were
look.
fresh softs at least.
Well,
but
he
he's
might
got a
be
lot of
able to
laps to
claw
do.
them onto the end.
I think my soft tyres after 12 laps were on 60%.
Ooh.
So it's going to be very tough.
Just remind me on the last lap for penalties, by the way. I'm sure I will remember.
I will try my best to remember that for you, mate. Lots to say, my boy, and that's the fact we don't actually doubt anymore. Lots. Callum 28 putting sucky for Kimmy at the line.
I don't know why you're doing that, Cal. He's not your boy. Where is your boy? Down in P15.
P5. P5?
Well, I was talking about Milkman, but
Milman's not had the best season this time, because I swear he's always top 3 drivers every season, and he's not really there this season. I think it's a similar issue we've seen with Bruno since season 2,
I think
when he
he's
got
past
shown
his
levels
best.
by Chaotix.
I think he's past his best, and that's no offense to Milkman, no offense to him at all, but you know, he's getting more involved with the FIA scene. He's exploring his options outside of driving, and I think that's probably good for him because he might not be tier 1 in a couple of seasons' time.
Shame at firing shots.
I'm not trying to fire shots at him. Genuinely, I'm not. I'm speaking from the heart.
I still think he's got it in him. As Kimmy's chasing down Rafe here.
Let's see
NXR
gone
get a
toe from Kimmy. And he might look to make a move on him at this. Like, he's closing him down without DRS, and he's going to get DRS at a moment.
He's keeping up with the leaders as well, so he could get Rafe here.
This DRS zone might be fantastic here for Gregor Mullen.
I thought he was going to go for that there. Did you think he was going to go up the inside?
He shouldn't, because he's got DRS just here.
Nah, DRS has been activated, has it, this lap?
It said it had, but no one's got it.
But
this might actually
DRS
be in
carries.
Gregor Mullen's favour round the outside.
Here we go, he's going to try it. Kimmy defends really well. But the issue with Kimmy here is he's caught up with Rafe. If he has to deal with Mullen too much, then Rafe could pull away here. So is it in Kimmy's best interest to not fight this, to let Mullen take the lead?
Well, Kimmy's got to be careful that he doesn't crash out and lose this 18-point lead he'll have over Mark by not racing today. DRS is engaged here for Gregor Mullen. He's got no ERS left to play with, though. He burnt up too much of it on his previous attempts.
In the context of the championship,
Rafe is outside of DRS.
Kimmy is best off here, just finishing the race, because if he finishes 3rd, that's 15 points he gets on Mark. If he finishes 5th, that's 10 points he gets on Mark. So it's more points you can get on Mark, the better. Don't worry about winning the race. Don't worry about your stats or
Scribbs has had an issue in the back. Has he gone into the pits or has he spun? He's spun massively around the last corner as Gregor Mullen takes P2.
I think he's kept out of the wall though. As Mullen. Oh no, he's boxing. He's definitely had some contact with the wall. And now Mullen is going to be on the back of Rafe on the fast tires.
He still has DRS because of Kimmy's because of the DRS activation zone is the same for both sectors of DRS on this track, so he's managed to use that to get within a second of Rafe. And these softs now, he's going to have to use them to the best of their ability. Gregor Mullen, out of the 3, is the only one on softs. Kimmy and Rafe are on the mediums, so he needs to make this happen as soon as possible before these softs die out.
And I think from Rafe's perspective, he doesn't want Kimmy to get back into this fight, so I don't think he'll fight this too much.
I mean, if we look at Rafe's CRS, he's got about double Mullen's, maybe just a bit less.
You just have to.
You have to wait the same now, actually.
Mullen's tires drop off towards the end.
Yeah, but Kimmy's just going to get towed along by Mullen here as Mullen tries to put a dent in Rafe's lead. I'm
trying to think if Rafe has done the Grand Slam here. I'm thinking back to when he pitted, and if some other people stayed out in front of him, did they pit?
Well, this is going to be the easiest move of
Gregor's
life. Rafe isn't really going to defend that. And Mullen's going to get the second DRS coming up here, as I believe both zones are activated at the same time.
I think Mullen was a little bit lucky there, actually.
So Mullen's going to pull away a bit more.
I think he moved a little bit on the braking there, similar to what I did to you at Monza. And you went to the back of me, and I think completely your fault. And I think...
Anyway.
I think it was a bit lucky that Rafe was quite aware, because I think that could be quite. Yeah, I think that could have been quite bad, but I don't know. I think they know.
If you're Gregor here, are you resigned to defeat here, or are you going to defend like?
I'm defending like hell. I've got to win on here if I'm Gregor. And what's the worst that can happen? You know, you've got to make sure that at least 2 drivers don't overtake you. You've got your podium.
Hello,
He's got a lot of laps to go.
He's got a lot of laps to go on the softs. They're
laps.
already 6 laps old. He's got to do another 10 on them, or 9 now as he crosses the line.
What he could do is another safety car to take some of the laps out. Because they get a few of those laps.
Yeah, but if you're any of the medium runners here, because everyone else in the top 10 is on mediums, if you box, you use a crap ton of track position.
No one's boxing the safety car again. I completely believe
Look at this DRS train, by the way.
Is that from drop us down?
Yeah, Gifted and Kitch are going side by side.
Yaps is going around. I think was that Yaps or was that
It's Gifted and Kitch.
My bad. Oh,
and here comes Bradders
is getting involved in it. On the medium tyre.
Oh, aggressive defending from Kitch. And Gifted is looking. Bradders going to search around the outside. He's going to try and take advantage of Kitch's aggressive defence. Side by side here. God, this is tight.
And
Bradders peeking the wheel out in front.
This is going to go into... Who's going to back off here? No, Bradders. Bradders backs off from that.
I think that's smart from Bradders, but he's got to worry about drive on drive. But look at everyone else behind. Jacko's even in the train. It goes all the way down to 15.
Jeff, I'm looking at penalties, mate. And I'm not going to talk to you about it because... I
mean, we can see them on stream right now. It is an interesting one.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, you're probably looking at drive on drive and C. Davies and making masses of positions here.
If they can keep a DRS train going on, I mean, Kitch is out of the second window of Yaps, so that's going to be interesting, but it's damn interesting. I can tell you that.
I think the best battle going on here is the battle for P2, because I'm going to assume that
Look at Gifted around the outside of Kitch here. I apologise. Look, this is an important battle. Is it going to...
I completely agree. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Gifted's getting a long way round. Kitch seems to have been thrown off by that contact, and he's been pushed back in to the pool of hungry piranhas that are drive on driver. Davis and Bradders waiting
There's
to
more
strike.
contact. Oh my goodness
gracious me! What's happened? See, Davis is out. Bradders is out. That's enough time. We see them collide.
Oh my God!
That's a full safety car, and I'm sorry, but I can hear Gregor Mullen from Scotland right now.
I would just like to point out, we didn't get a good visual on that crash, but we heard it.
Definitely. I think,
and I look back and I see the wheel of Bradders or C. Davies come flying off, and it's disaster for them. I think they were just passengers in the accident, J-Wall. It's because of the aggressiveness of Kitch and Gifted, and Bradders is obviously going to try and get a position from that. Bradders doesn't
swear at all. So Bradders putting what the fucking hell was that? It's very rare, because I've never seen or heard this man swear in my life. So Bradders, C. Davies...
Gregor's sped in the pits! Gregor's sped in the pits!
Gregor's in the pits for fresh softs. Oh no! Gregor, as Yaps takes the lead though. Yaps could win this race.
It seems Rafe and Kimmy followed him in on fresh stops. Aggressive play.
Oh, Bradders is not happy with C. Davies.
I didn't get a great look at the clip, but I know that there was a lot of cars bunched up super close together, and the FIA are going to have a field day trying to officiate that incident.
The admins are going to have a field day making sure this chat doesn't go out of hand, I think.
Bradders, very aggressive on the team radio, calling C. Davies a fucking dick, but it's in the heat at the moment. I'm sure they don't mean it. I mean,
C. Davies is saying
Ali claiming a choke is harsh. I mean, speeding in the pits happens to the worst of us.
I do know Davies a little bit from what I talked to him about. I don't think he's done that on purpose. I know Bradders as well.
Davies is the least malicious person I know on the grid. I would have said Gale Force, but then we had Singapore.
I think in the end, I think Bradders will have every right to be annoyed about this in the first part because he hadn't seen the incident. But I think if he sees the incident from Davies' perspective, he might change his mind. I don't know. I haven't seen it myself. I need to see this incident.
Yeah,
and
we all need to take a good look at this incident, and you can have a look at the incident if you join the Discord.
I would like to, under safety car, get them in the party, but I feel like emotions are getting a little bit too high right now.
That's a recipe for disaster.
So I think we'll leave that one. And maybe we'll get some sort of chat going on about it and quotes, and I don't know, maybe I'll make a nice Drive to Survive episode at some point. But I think for
speaking of chat, if you're in the chat right now, what do you think about this situation? You've got Yaps, Gifted, Milkman and Mullin not pitting. Milkman somehow finding his way up into P3 with some awfully worn tyres.
I'm sorry, but Minoy's just put Fatal Force in the Twitch chat.
I mean, I don't know why he's done that, but 8 upload sauce for Milkman. Milkman's going to be dead to rights. You Gifted and Yaps just basically trying to get some form of glory. Like, he messed up this race. Him and Gifted, 10-lap-old mediums, they're not surviving this. Everyone
I
else
think
is on
Milkman's going to
fresh
defend
tyres
like
behind.
hell. Milkman is going to defend like crazy. And I must say, though, the safety car has actually put Gregor Mullen in the main advantage here, because his disadvantage was he was on the softs. Well, now, Mullen, Rafe, and Kimi are on the same one, but he's got the 5 seconds, hasn't he?
He's got the 5 seconds, and that's just and that might ruin his chances for a podium.
I feel really bad for him. It happens to the best of us. I crashed 8 laps from the end in the podium position at Austria. It's just gutting when you lose it, and I still never got that podium. So.
And if you're Rafe and Kimi right now, you both just need to get past a few cars, and yeah. Well,
obviously Rafe's grandson's
I am saying Milkman's in the mud because look at him, he's fucked. 8-apple old softs. He's genuinely fucked, Manoy.
He's just gonna make it as hard to get past him as he can for his teammate here.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. That's a fantastic plan from Red Bull. Yeah, Manoy, yeah. Manoy's seen it. But, Cal, I know you're in the chat. Would you say you're...
And it's so down the back, they're off!
Oh, wait, it didn't even say it was going in. We're just going. And
no,
look at this,
no.
it's going to be free
And
wide.
actually, Milkman's already got past his teammate. Yaps is going to be done in here. It's going to be Gregor Mullen up the inside. And he gets it off. I think Milkman's going to attack it. Milkman's going to force him wide. And Yaps is going to get back past. Mullen's using all his ERS to pull away here. Rafe and Kimi are having issues, and maybe, just maybe,
up in first?
5 seconds. Can he pull Gregor Mullen in the 4 laps that we got left?
I mean,
it's Gifted and Rafe are battling, and Rafe gets past Gifted, and Rafe sets his sights on Yaps.
Milkman's just going to be trying to run away from what is in essence an angry horde of zombies. He's got old tires.
Like Milkman's punching the air a bit here. He's fighting something that's just not there.
He might actually get something good from this. What's his penalties actually? 3 seconds. He's got a shot, J Wall.
He could do this,
but
Rafe and Kimi have got nothing. And Gregor Mullen will come past here, I am sure.
And Rafe goes past Yaps effortlessly, and I'm sure Kimmy's going to try and stack up as well. Look at the toe for Kimi, it's going to be free wide again.
It's going to be free wide here. This is an important battle between Kimi and Rafe, though. As Kimi and Rafe touch wheels front to back. Kimi is a bit more conservative with his brakes. Rafe has been a bit later, and they both got past Yaps, but Kimi is behind Rafe still.
Like that.
Yaps not going to like Kimi getting away. Kimi got past him. Actually, Millsy's just got past him as well.
In that chain of events.
And this is what happens when you don't box for new tyres. You're just a silly duck. As Millman's found out here with Mullen past him. Before the double apex, there's a...
Kitch has gone round and he's basically out, but he's keeping the car alive in case some miracle happens in the last couple of laps.
Gifted gets a 3 second.
Yaps drops even further down because of his old medium.
Rafe comes on Milkman. Here he comes. The Mercedes driver's into P2 and here's
so early.
Is Kimi just sustained damage from that then?
I don't think they touched, but that was such an early break from Milkman. Oh, that's not good at all from him. Tyres aside. Obviously it is because of the tyres, but it's just so uncomfortable.
DRS enabled. But Gregor Mullen is 1.3 up the road, but it's not going to be enough. So I think Rafe could take this. Kimi's going to get past Milkman really easily. Milkman, I'm so sorry, mate, but you're looking like you're in the position, and I don't think you are anymore.
Jacko's crashed!
Oh, it's been a contact. As Jacko is out of this race.
In the pits?
Yes, he has, to be our 6th DNF, I believe.
Probably go and have a drink, mate. You've done
and this
today,
now
Jacko.
Is, I think, a 2-horse race to the finish between Rafe and Kimi, unless by some miracle Gregor can pull 5 seconds.
It's going to be so gutting for Gregor if he wins this on track. It's going to be so gutting if he wins this on track because he's drove phenomenally today and he deserves whatever he gets from this. DRS here for Rafe, absolutely gunning it around this sector too. And he's going to close this gap on Gregor Mullen quite substantially.
But here comes Kimi as well. Kimi's closing in. The only advantage that Rafe's got here now is he's closed that gap so well that Gregor is now not going to be able to pull. Is now going to give him DRS.
And the problem is here, Millsy's got 3 seconds. Everyone else behind has also got time penalties. As long as Gregor can keep a decent gap to Millsy, he'll be in this podium position. And he'll keep that if he stays ahead of Rafe and Kimi.
Although I would argue he's deserved a little bit more.
He deserves to win, mate. If he didn't get this penalty, he deserves to win. But not to take away from the brilliant drive Rafe has had as a reserve, and Kimi from the back of the grid.
P19 or something like that, because of another person starting from the back. Because Rafe's going to find a little bit of trouble here between himself and Gregor, trying to just get past.
makes the move on Milkman just to keep an eye on that battle behind, as those do matter for points currently. Milkman only on 3 seconds. He can try and stay within a close gap between these drivers and could get a good amount of points here for Red Bull. Come on, chat. Show some hype for your favourite drivers. We're about to finish.
Closing in. He's got to make this move. He's going to have 1 lap to do it, and he knows he's going to have 1 lap to do it.
And if either of these two get a time penalty, Gregor could be licking his lips as well, because there might be enough to get some time and then get a reward. Kimi's going to be looking at this move on Rafe as well.
What's Rafe's ERS like? They're both sapped of any ERS at all. You'd think they were the same car.
Gregor's also using his because Rafe is charging through.
But is Gregor going to get
free wide again?
I think this is going to kill Kimi off.
Rafe has got past. We need Kimi to get past now. If he doesn't, it's over.
I think Rafe will win this now. Kimi's got to get past. Kimi goes up the inside here at turn 4.
And this could be Gregor's chance at a podium gone as well. He's within 2 seconds of Millsy.
And now Kimi's got to do everything he can for the S's. Rafe's just got to keep calm, keep composed to the checkered flag.
Will he be without of a second? Will he get DRS?
He makes a mistake.
He'll have DRS.
He's cracking a little bit under pressure. There's going to be 1 chance for the stadium as the crowd erupts.
As we go to the final sector
we have witnessed
a battle be through the line.
For the ages.
The fireworks are already going off.
But who for?
Who are they for, Chris
and
Kamara?
Mark on holiday swims in the sea. Kimi will be swimming in champagne, but not the champagne of P1. As Rafe wins the Mexican Grand Prix.
Millsy gets the podium.
Millsy, in heartbreaking fashion, knocks Haas off the first podium of season 4. And I don't know about you, Jeff.
He's my driver of the day, though.
But that's one of the best races I've witnessed.
Oh my word. And we had the penalties on screen, so there shouldn't be any timing glitches. We'll go through the grid order, we'll go through the race director, and then we'll get people in for interviews. Kimi gets the game's driver of the day, but for me, my personal driver of the day has to go to Gregor Mullin. What about you, Jay Wall?
I think he was brilliant, but for me, Kimi's the driver of the day. It was a really tough decision to make between Kimi and Gregor, who've both driven phenomenal races, who've driven their hard out today and given us the entertainment that we need and that we want when you're watching NXR. But I think for me, Kimi starting right at the back and moving up to 19th. I know we expected something similar from him, but it doesn't take away from the actual accomplishment. Your heart goes out to Gregor, though.
100%. And I'm sure if Cal remembers to do the poll this week, he'll be able to put drivers like Rafe, Kimi and Gregor on for this top 3 for driver of the day. But as we go through here, you can see the race director.
I might need some help with the interviews today, mate.
Pardon?
I might need some help with the interviews today, if that's
no problem at all. Jacko being classified as he retired in the pits with most of the track being done. So congratulations.
Did you check the penalties?
He won't be at the NF. I'm doing that right now. The penalties were on screen when they crossed the line as well. So just scrolling through the race director's incidents. So if anyone has any time penalties they need removing, they can come here and have a look at this. Make sure that they're on there. So when drivers go and view their instance, be like that. But I know lots of people like to drop out after the race is finished, so if you do that and don't stick around for the interviews, I hope you have a lovely day. And we'll see you for Tier 2 tomorrow, hopefully.
Guys.
But we'll still be here for the interviews, so don't you worry about that, those who like to stick around. Would you like to invite the third place person to our party, which I believe is Kitch?
Are we doing them all separately?
Or is it Millsy? No, it's Millsy.
It's Millsy.
Yeah, we'll do them all separately. The reserve driver, instead of Hergenio, you got to admit, Yaps has done a good call here, getting Millsy in. Got P2 in the quali, of course, and it's been a fantastic drive for everyone.
Hang on, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to just boot someone really quickly. That is my bad. I'll not include my audio. Kieran, can you leave, mate?
I already did. I already removed him. Let me just make that invite only. He didn't say anything, it's fine. But go ahead and start the questions. Welcome, Millsy. Make sure you include your audio, mate.
Yeah, I was about to chat.
Yeah, the audio is included. Thank you.
I haven't got loads really to say because, as you could probably tell, my voice is going. So I think there was a really good battle between you and Rafe at the start, and it was very much which way is it going to go. And I thought definitely when the safety car came out, you were going to be back in with a contention of winning this race. So I'm not gonna. I don't mean this in any bad way or anything. It could be taken that way. I didn't mean it to be. But are you in any way disappointed to not be first in this race? Because obviously a podium's great, but is that kind of what you wanted, or did you want to win this race?
I mean, it's difficult to say, really. I just think ultimately Kimi and Rafe had a really good pace, and they had sort of a few tenths of lap on me, so I don't think I'll be too disappointed with P3. I'm more going with the 3-second time pen. I know it didn't make any difference, but I'd quite like to get no pens. But no, I think they had an extra few tenths, so fair play to them. I'll take a P3. I'm not sure if Gregor can get his 5-second removed, but P3 or P4, solid job.
It was a speeding penalty just for reference, so
was it? Oh, okay, that's fine.
I don't think that will get removed, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, it was a collision on safety car. Oh, right.
Oh, well, let me have a look, actually. I believe it was.
I don't know, I was guessing. I'm guessing, so...
It was still a phenomenal drive, mate, and at the start, you know, you were keeping with Ray for a little while, and I think, you know, he had a lot of space here, so nothing to be disappointed about there. But it was really good to watch at the start, and I did think you might take it. Some brilliant performance, particularly in Q2. Your Q2 lap was quite good, and it was up there. And I thought, well, maybe you'll get it in Q3. I think it's really glad to have you back, mate. It's really glad to have you back. I haven't got a load to say.
That's alright.
But yeah,
I appreciate it. I do have one thing to say. Did you expect to be driving today? And then when you finally got the call that you were driving today, did you think you would be getting P2? Because I know there was a lot of things behind the scenes about who should be reserving.
Well, yeah, I mean, I said to Yaps, I'm free next couple of weeks if he wants to race at all. I didn't know what team it would be. But then he said, yeah, all good, Mark's out, so might be able to get you in. And then he was like, no, we have to get Tier 2 reserves in. So I was like, that's fair enough, you know. And then he let me know at 15:15 that I was racing, so I had no practice at all, but luckily I raced ran here less yesterday, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, I mean, I'd take a podium before, but
I mean P2 in quali as well. Can't.
I think Kimi would have been probably better than us if we'd have not had his. Well, I don't know what you guys do, grip penalties. That's it. But yeah, I mean, can be quite happy with P2 and then P3.
I think it's a complete testament to your ability to be told 15 minutes before the race with no practice that you're racing, but then go and get a podium, get second in quali or something.
It's not. I mean, thank you, but I mean, I raced BRS yesterday, so it's not like round here, so it's not like I had no practice whatsoever. But yeah, it's good to get the podium.
Yeah. Either way, mate, enjoy your champagne and have a great rest of your evening. It was a pleasure watching you race here today around Mexico. Take care.
Yeah, cheers. See you later, guys.
See you in a bit, mate. Well done. Right, let's have a little. Who is it next?
It would be Kimi in second. Hold on.
Kimi? I've got Kimi friended. I will just send him an invite now.
Let me just ask you a question after this race, by the way. But after the stream, but...
Yep, no worries.
Welcome, Kimi.
Hey.
How are you, mate?
I'm good, I'm good.
It's definitely a great race to watch, mate, and I'm glad that you're here, but I'm also not, because I was hoping you wouldn't score today. If I'm being honest, I want to see Mark and you go to the last place. But I think my first question I think I've got here, and I think Jeff's probably got a few, and I haven't got many, but Jeff might have a few as well afterwards. Is what was your attitude going into this race? Because I said at the start that you might not be as aggressive as you could possibly be because you know that you've got nothing to lose with Mark not racing. Is that the case, or were you just on it like, I need this win, I've got something to prove to everyone?
No, because I knew I had not much to lose. I knew if anything had happened, or if I'd retired, I'd still be ahead in the championship. So I was a little bit careful, especially on the first few laps, just hanging it steady in P15 or something. But no, as the race progressed, got onto the softs, got through a couple of people, and then got close to Rafe, and then had a really good battle with him towards the end. It was a great race.
It was definitely great to see, and I mean, I was really astounded that you were making your way up that much, and I just thought every time I looked at the screen, Timmy was like one place higher, and I was just thinking, well, he's between you and Mark, it's going to be great, and I've seen so many swings in the race. I just hope that maybe you weren't going to make another one, and then another one, and you just kept doing it, and it's really, P19 to P2 is phenomenal. Could have been P1. Rafe just had a lot of pace today. I don't really have much more to add, much more to ask, but to just tell you to enjoy the champagne because you've earned every drop of it.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate the comms.
I have one more thing to say. Obviously, brilliant qualifying from you. Fantastic, obviously, taking your quali ban. But going into this race, obviously, very tactical of you to take your grid penalty here. Did you expect to win this race? Did you expect to get a podium? What did you expect?
Absolutely not. I to be honest, I wanted low points. I was thinking, if I could get an 8th or a 9th, that'd be good, just to extend a little bit. But yeah, I knew if I took the engine pen here, the undercuts would be massive with the 2 stops. So yeah, really pushed on the 2 softs I did, and then the mediums on the safety car, and then I was with the top 3, and I was like, oh, hang on a minute, we get a podium here, and yeah, just kept pushing.
Do you think you had race for pace if these safety cars didn't come into play?
No. I think we were bang on the same pace. I don't think I could have easily got him. I think Gregor also had some great pace. Unfortunate with his 5-second, but yeah, he was great today. He was really good.
Alright, well, that's it from me. I'm sure you want to go relax and take the edge off a little, so enjoy the champagne and have a wonderful rest of your evening, my friend.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate.
Extending
You
your lead in the championship.
Cheers, thank you.
Jeff, I've just sent you, before we get Rafe in, I've sent you the clip that we wanted to see between Bradders and Davies. I just took it from my team chat, and I just thought you might want to have a look at it.
I would like to have a look at it after the race, because I don't want my opinions on an instant being broadcasted live when I'm relying it on instinct. But
yeah,
we will be getting the Lewis Hamilton in. And, hello, mate. Make sure you include your audio, my friend.
Yep.
How are you, mate, firstly? Walk us through that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm really happy because, I've been trying to, get into a Tier 1 race for just a little bit, not as much as other people, but, it's definitely, it's definitely great to, win on the debut. Yeah, nervous.
Yeah, I didn't know why you were nervous, mate. I started coming up with lines I could say when you cross the line to win the race in qualifying, which is the sheer amount of brilliance you showed in your performance consistently. I think maybe first I want to ask, was it what you expected it to be? Did you enjoy it as much as you were hoping you would?
Yeah, I mean, once the safety cars came out, I was like, this is gonna be a big turning point in this race because, now everyone's, gonna be on top of each other. So I was like, I don't know, I just, tried to do the best I can in the situation that I was put in. But yeah, I just, really want to say thank you to Rob for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
I'm sure
he was very
he'll
soulless
love the
team
return.
principal this week.
He got the win there, didn't he?
He did, and I'm sure Rob will be delighted. We're obviously delighted in commentating with as well. Me and Jay will have commentated. It feels like most of your races, and you always seem to pull something out of the bag. In invitationals, in the academy, and now you've finally done it on the main stage. I mean, it's obvious saying this, but you expect to be drafted in Tier 1 next season, don't you?
I would hope to.
I think this is a very good audition for.
Very, very good audition. You had the pace to beat the championship leader. You had the pace to beat an almighty charge from a Haas driver that nobody expected to be there, but you fended him off with aplomb. And your consistent pace throughout the grid, you were miles ahead of everyone else, maybe because of strategy or otherwise, and when that safety car came out, but then you handled it even more when they were close by behind you. Is there anything you want to say, like talk about your strategy, your plans, like what worked, what didn't, just let us all enjoy your brilliance here today.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I was just going for a one-stop, which is why I stayed on the softs until lap 13, and then yeah, I was just trying to take the mediums to the end, and then yeah, the safety cars came out, so yeah, I was just trying to do the best I can with the situation that was given.
Well, you definitely did the best, and you won the race.
I told you it was going for the one stuff. I don't think I've got anything else to say.
You
got anything else to say, Jeff?
Apart from my classic phrase of enjoy your champagne.
I've got one more thing to say then.
Go ahead,
I've got one more thing to say just before we close off. Rafe, I thought your performance today was, wait for it, the bee's knees. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And there we have it, folks. Thank you very much, Rafe. But that's been NXR today. We'll be live here tomorrow for Tier 2, same track, same time, just on the Monday. Different commentators though. Obviously we'll have
better drivers. You've got Shaman and J-Will tearing up the scene. That battle for P10, really, really strong.
P10 is ambitious for me, mate. But for now, that's enough from me. I've been Shaman.
And I've been J-Will.
And this has been Mexico in Tier 1. Thank you very much, and goodbye.